So, as already discussed, I'm Johnny Bergen. I'm here to talk about my budgeting app called BankVR. Now, essentially, we aim at maintaining a healthy bank balance, and just as sort of just a backstory of why this started. So, last summer, my roommate went back to England forever, so we kind of decided to give him a big send-off. Spent a bit too much money, played a bit too much golf, and as I'm sure you're aware, Monday morning comes along, I don't have as much money in my bank account as I needed. So I had to kind of delve into next month's spending money to pay for this month's bills, and that's really not something you want to do. So this is essentially what I used to sort of manage my budget, manage my bank account. I essentially had an amount of money that I wanted at the end of each month I had to try and hit, and it's a pretty passive way of doing it, I guess. But I sent out a survey, and I'm just going to touch on it now. This is actually kind of like a high-tech way of doing it for people my age, college students and high school students. Not really anyone has a method of budgeting, so I was already a little bit ahead of the game, I guess, but it still wasn't enough to stop me spending more money than I needed to. So what I decided to do was to try and create an app that could help me maintain this budget and to help me sort of spend less money, because there wasn't really too much out there that I found. And as I said, the main aim of this is to maintain the healthy bank balance. And we decided to do this with two main sort of methods. One is the push notifications, and it's kind of the same as what Facebook uses every morning. Kind of you get a notification that says wish this person a happy birthday. The kind of annoying stuff that I wake up to every morning. And you can personalize these push notifications with the budgeting app. You can set as many as you want for whatever kind of money you have in your account. So essentially I can set one notification to tell me when I have $100 left for that month that I'm supposed to spend, and then another one for $5, one for $1,000, and so on, as many as you want. And the second one is we're going to track various expenditures. So essentially you can go back in during the month, at the end of the month, and see what you've spent money on that month. You can go back in and see I spent $100 at McDonald's this month. So you can review it and see that that's one area that you can save more money in the future. And also we're going to include graphs with this as well. So you can see if you kind of spend your money in a linear fashion throughout the month, or if you spend it all in the first 4 days after you get paid, which obviously again isn't the best way to spend your money. And yeah, the opportunity of this app, Mint is the only kind of vague competitor that we have. And when we decided to design the app, in the next slide there's pictures of the whole design. We kind of figured it's not a very user-friendly app for first-time users and repeat users. So we decided to use our bad experiences with this and try and create a much more easy-to-use app. And before we even kind of started this whole process, I guess, I sent out the survey that I touched upon earlier, and I sent it out globally because I have friends in America, and I asked them to distribute it to their kind of connections. I sent it back home to England, and they sent it elsewhere through universities. And I have a friend in Australia, and he kind of distributed it. And what we found was the age range was 16 to 25 that were most serious about this app. About 50 to 60% of people said that they'd actually be excited to use it, and they'd be willing to sort of give it a go as like a first-time use. We kind of figured that 16 to 25, it's the time when you get your sort of first bit of money, you can really spend your allowance from your parents, and the older you get, I guess, the more financially stable, which I'm kind of looking forward to in the future. And this is essentially what we have right now. The user-friendly aspect that we have, the top row, second from the right, those are sliders. So you can put your finger on the circle in the middle, and you can slide it along to, say my rent right now is $500, so I just slide it along to $500, then bills, you can do gas money. You can do however much you spend on food shopping, for example. And the bottom left is again our graphs, and on the right, that's where you can see the calendar to see where you spent your money, how much, and you can go back in and review. And so where will the money go that I'm kind of asking for from difference makers? I actually won the DCU Innovation Contest back in November now. And I'm still in contact with a guy called David Aruji who works for DCU. And he's shown my designs to his kind of computer engineer in the last week when I met with him. And he kind of quoted me a price of around $50 to $100 an hour of kind of programming times. He also said a patent attorney would be around $3,000 to see if I could patent the idea, if I could make it my own in the future. So I guess I'm asking for around 7,000 to 10,000, anywhere between there, to help me kind of get this moving forward and to help David and I to continue to kind of make this a reality to help as many people as we can. So yeah, thank you very much for listening, and I'll try and answer any of your questions as best I can.
So when you looked at Mint, what were some of the challenges with people using that interface that were common that you solved?
Yeah, the people that helped me kind of create the app, Difference Makers kind of set me up with a class, and they helped me kind of design it. They gave me the design for it. They all kind of realized that it's very difficult to kind of negotiate yourself around the app. If you're a first-time user, they didn't really know where to go, where to kind of input their money, how it showed how much they have to spend or stuff like that. So if I head back to this, down the bottom we have our kind of tabs, and we only have 4 tabs on this app. So you can go to your budget, you can go to notifications to set them, you can see like alerts, for example, for your push notifications. And that's the kind of central kind of thing we tried to get around, is the user-friendly, because they said it was very difficult for them to kind of figure out where to go. If they wanted to change their budget, they kind of struggled to do that, so we tried to make it as easy as possible.
John, good job on the presentation.
Thank you.
Do you have any data on the folks that start using this, how long they continue to use it? Do they make it through the whole semester with it? Do they with the app?
The app is still in its kind of
Nothing at all.
Yeah, we have well, obviously the designs, and it's, as a college student, it's kind of tough to come up with the money to kind of fund the whole building of it. But going
So
through
100% of the people who have used it then have kept
100%
using
of
it.
them, yeah.
But
It's
I
very
think-
successful.
I have a similar question.
Yeah.
Is I think another way to ask this question is, tell me if I'm wrong, is that I think of like the diet app or anything. A lot of it's based on input, right? Garbage in, garbage out. I have to make sure that I'm using this. So did you think about, say long term, if I go shopping and get receipts for $15.20 or something?
Yeah.
Is there going to be any consideration in putting receipts, and then even on the deposit side, like I know some of these applications, web interfaces, so you can grab your bank account information and kind of synchronize that information too.
Yeah. Well, the short term kind of plan is just to physically input the numbers. And we're using the Force Touch that Apple have got, so you kind of press on the app and you get the quick, the shortcuts, I guess, to the pages on here. The long-term aim, I've been talking with David at DCU, is to kind of partner the app with your bank account. So anytime you swipe your credit card or you use your credit card, it kind of automatically takes it off. That produces some challenges, he said, but he thinks it is possible to work in the future. But as of right now, that's where we want to be. But right now, we're just kind of manually inputting the numbers. Yeah.
The app you've presented is passive in nature, in the sense that it tells me what's rushed out the barn door, so to speak. Have you thought about adding forecasting? Because one of the largest challenges for your target market is financial planning and forecasting and budgeting, because it's often not taught in high school and college. And there's an opportunity there to say, hey, you input your rent every month, you like to pay it on the 1st, cable is due on the 10th, it's $86, and to help folks plan. And if you do that, when you work with a small community bank like DCU, one of their biggest goals is to get a stickiness.
Yeah.
And you could push data to their pay with their online banking for payments. So have you thought about doing forecasting and then automated payments, where you're basically saying, I am doing something like Mint, which basically Mint triggers everything to go into like Schwab and all your other accounts. You could do the same thing here. So have you thought about that, the forecasting and integrating with proactive payment?
Yeah. I guess technically we have kind of touched upon that. I guess the whole kind of budget that it gets, the big number that's 4723 is what they put on there. That is your budget to spend on sort of your Chipotle if you want to go clothes shopping. It's taken away your rent bill, your bills, your expected gas money. So that's the fixed kind of cost that you have each month. We're trying to lower the kind of variables, I guess. How many times you want to buy a pizza, how many times you want to go and buy some beer. That's the thing we're trying to kind of control, I guess. So every time you make your transaction, you make a transaction, that's the bit that goes down, not the whole thing. So you always have some money set aside that's for your fixed costs. Yeah.
Great job, Jonathan. I understand the problem. I have a son who's studying in Barcelona.
Yeah.
And he goes over every month. Two questions. What if somebody just ignores the program, just like the alarm clock hits the snooze button?
Yeah.
And just spends anyway and just has to go back to the parents? And the second, have you decided on what your revenue model is going to be? How are you going to generate revenue?
I'll do the first one first. I'll do it in order. It's the whole aspect of like the notifications is, I guess, you can set as many as you want. So you kind of can set a trend. So you have $100 left, you have 90, 80, 70. So you get kind of the warnings. There isn't, you can never get someone to stop spending money. So sadly, I mean, I wish there was a way.
Yeah, if you figure that out, let me know. I'll give you a lot of money.
I wish there was a way to do that, but no, unfortunately we can't really fix that. Yeah, but the whole aspect of, I guess, making money with it is something that I haven't really thought too much in. I've kind of thrown the idea out there to David. If he thinks it'd be more profitable to sell it for free and advertise on the app, or sell it for 99 cents, $1 or something.
Well, I have some ideas if you want to talk. I mean, there's only 3 ways, and you got to pick one.
Yeah, but I don't know we're just trying to create the physical app. We don't worry about the money making, I suppose.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
John, great job.
Thank you very much.
John, at one point, I'm actually an IP attorney, and I work with actually some other clients in this space, so
Yeah.
I'm happy to come see you so I can give you some insight on the platform.
Great. Thank you very much.